So we are here to chat about the REAL program, and we do have a mix just for the students that are on the call and for our staff and faculty who are joining, of both brand new students who are coming in and starting this fall, and students who have been with us for the last year and have not completed this requirement yet. So we might have some continuing students and some new students all together today to learn a little bit more about this requirement in the College of Public Health. I'm not gonna PowerPoint you to death, but I have a couple of slides just to keep us on track so you know what we are doing today. Let me see. So I am gonna kind of host this a little bit. What we're gonna do is do a general overview of REAL. What is this program? What is the requirement? How does that work into your major on a very high level? I'm not an academic advisor, so I'm going to put that disclaimer out there. Why do we require this of our students? We'll take some time then to meet a little bit more some of our other staff on the call, and we'll do a quick round real quick to learn who everybody is. And then after we do a general program overview, I'm going to ask each of our folks on the call to do just a few minutes to discuss a kind of a high level overview of their program. And then once we've done that, we're actually going to move into those breakout sessions that you signed up for when you registered. And then that way, those of us who are leading programs will be able to meet with a small group to talk a little bit more in depth about our programs, answer any questions you might have, and kind of give you kind of the more nitty gritty about some of these different options you can use for the REAL program. So I am going to start us off just by doing a quick round of introductions. My name is Amy, and I apologize I didn't say that already. My name is Amy Riley. I serve as the Director of Student Engagement here in the College of Public Health. I run two different programs for REAL, and that is the Catalyst Mentoring Program and the Excel in Action Program. So in my breakout session, I'm going to be talking more about those two options and taking questions there. And again, I'll give everybody the quick version before we do those breakouts. Can we just go in order? Everybody on this list want to go by how your name is listed and just say hi and introduce yourself real quick?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Chad Kuwana, and I am the Director of Undergraduate Recruitment and Retention for our college.
All right, Kane, can you go next?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kane Francis. I'm the Director of the Office of Global Opportunities at OSU, or OSU Go. We administer all the study abroad and international internship programs for OSU students, and I'll be talking about the Beyond Education Abroad course.
Awesome. All right, Slade, that's you. Next.
Hey everyone, I'm Slade Dockery. I'm the Experiential Learning Coordinator for the Kinesiology Department. My REAL program is Industry Awareness, where we take a deep dive into your personal and professional development and get a sense of what is it you want to go do and know it inside and backwards and in between.
Awesome, thanks Slade. And we do have, I'm going to introduce Claire Wu, who is not on the call today. She was originally thought she might be able to make it and was not able to. Claire Wu is the Assistant Director of Career Development for the College of Public Health and Human Sciences. She also works for the College of Science, and it's a split position with the college and the Career Development Center. So she's a really great contact in general for one-on-one meetings and resources. And she also teaches the whole Know My Career series. There's 3 1-credit options you can do. And actually she was very, very kind when she found out she couldn't make it, and she recorded a little overview video that we'll share before we go into breakouts. It's 5 minutes. It talks a lot about her 3 programs, so you'll learn a little bit about those in an overview, and I'll share her contact information in case you want to follow up with her directly about those 3 programs. So what I want to do first is talk a little bit about what the REAL program is and make sure that people have a good understanding of that. So if you were looking at my PowerPoint, I would have some things written down about this. So REAL is an acronym. It stands for the Required Experiential Arcs of Learning. And it is a degree requirement in our college for undergraduate students who are studying public health and kinesiology. And so those are the only two majors that require this right now. Human development and family sciences and nutrition, those students are encouraged to explore experiential learning on their own, but it's not embedded into the degree curriculum right now. So if you're on this call, you are most likely in public health or kinesiology, and if you're in another major and you want to connect with me after the fact, please do that. But right now we're going to focus on those two majors. The goal of REAL is to, by making this requirement for your degree, this 3-credit requirement, is that we're bringing that experience earlier into your degree program here at OSU. Most of the time with experiential learning, when you're doing internships and practicums and shadowing opportunities, most of those are going to be later on in your academic career, sometimes in your junior or senior year. And by adding this to your major and making it a lower division requirement, we're bringing in those experiences for you a little bit earlier. And there's some reasons for that that I'll share in a minute. The other thing to know about REAL is that it is very, very flexible, and we'll talk about that. I'm going to try to share my screen again real quick. But the thing to know about the REAL program is that there are multiple ways to complete this. And so the goal is to do something that feels like it's going to be most beneficial for you. Can you guys see my screen? Does it look like the REAL website? Okay. All right. So maybe PowerPoint is just being finicky. So you can learn more about REAL by going to this page on our website. If you go to the College of Public Health and Human Science website and just type REAL in the search bar, you're going to come to this page. And I wanted to highlight this for a few reasons, but mostly because it has a list of all of the different program options that you can choose from. Now, we've got a few people on the call today that will talk about some of the different programs that we do. You can see Catalyst Excel, Industry Awareness, the My Career series, Kane's Beyond Education Abroad is down here, but there's also research opportunities, wellness agent programs with student health, coaching for youth sports, healthy meal planning, and these can all be used to fulfill that requirement. So if you come to this page and want to explore your options, you can get a quick summary of the program, how many credits you would earn with that program. You have to do 3 credits in that first 2 years, when you can start the program, what term, and then you can click on this to get more information about the program itself, what we're working towards, the person, the contact person, and how to reach out and move forward. So definitely take some time to review this webpage to learn about your different options. There are going to be options that you can choose from where you can do that full 3 credits in 1 term. Sometimes that's appealing for students, especially our transfer students who might want to get that all done in 1 term and knock that 3 credits out. I offer a 3-credit option. Slade offers a 3-credit option. There's other programs that offer 3 credits over consecutive terms. So the Catalyst program is 3 credits, but you do 1 credit in fall, winter, and spring. The Wellness Agent program is 3 credits, but that's over multiple terms. Or you can choose 1-credit programs and add them together. So you could do coaching for youth sports, a career planning course, and a healthy eating. There's multiple ways to get this 3 credits. So the goal is to look at that website and then talk with your advisor. I wanted to touch a little bit also on why this is important. It's a degree requirement, yes, but experiential learning as a whole is something that we call a high impact educational practice, which means it's really, really good for you for a number of reasons. One, you're going to be doing things actively, and then you're going to take time to apply those things and reflect on them, and it's really a great way to learn. So ultimately, you're going to learn better, usually in an experiential learning option. Folks who do experiential learning here at OSU, we've looked at some of those statistics. General students coming into OSU, 61% are going to be done with their degree at the end of 6 years, and that accounts for transfers and attrition and all of that. For the students that are doing multiple experiential learning opportunities, that number jumps to 91%. So a 30% increase in students who are going to graduate from OSU if they're taking advantage of these opportunities, and really the earlier the better. Again, earlier access to career relevant experiences. A lot of the time in your freshman and sophomore year, you're doing general education and prerequisites and all of those things you need for your major. But by doing these experiences early, you're going to start making those connections to how does this relate to my career choices and my career path down the line, and be getting some of that earlier. And then finally, increasing that chance of success after graduation, because that's what we're all shooting for, right? So by taking these on early and thinking about how do these experiences impact me, how can I present them to others, how do they impact my success, you're really kind of setting yourself up for success down the line as well. So that's a quick overview. I know it's a lot of information. What I want to do is give everybody a chance to share a little bit about their program. And I'm going to start that by sharing Claire's clip. Hopefully it works right. Because this is a great option. Claire's options are 1 credit apiece. They can be put together in whatever format works, 1 credit at a time. They're offered, all 3 of them, every term. And so she prepared something. I'm going to share her overview first.
I am the career advisor for College of Public Health and Human Sciences Summit Center at OSU. I am the career advisor for College of Public Health and Human Sciences students. The Career Development Center offers a lot of great resources for our students. One of the most important ones that I would suggest you definitely consider using is setting up one-on-one appointments with me. You can see all my upcoming openings on Handshake on the OSU Career Development website. I look forward to seeing you in the very near future. Today, I'm going to share information about the 3 real courses that I teach. Many of you have learned that real courses are experiential learning courses. That means you learn an idea and you will be doing hands-on assignments and reflect on what you learn in this process. It applies to the 3 career development courses I teach as well. The 3 courses are Know My Career Self, Build My Career Team, and Ready My Career Search. They are introductory career development courses to help students start thinking about and planning for their lives after OSU. The reason why we introduce career development courses this early is because career development is not a linear process. It's very complicated. It relies on a lot of resources in addition to the classroom learning. It's also intertwined with so many parts of your life that you are going to take some time to figure out possible career matches for you. Career development is something that you are in the driver's seat, that you get to have full control. You get to decide where you want to go, what you want to do. We offer resources and support to help you navigate the complex process. Know My Career Self. Knowing yourself well is the cornerstone of your career development. This course is all about you. We will use different tools and research ourselves. By the end of this course, when people ask you, so what do you want to do after you graduate? You will have a lot of materials to share and you will tell your story with great confidence. Build My Career Team. Many people think the journey to your career is something that you work on all by yourself. It is true that you will have to make many decisions because you are in the driver's seat. But it doesn't mean that you have to do it alone. In fact, we all need mentors, advisors, and peers to bounce ideas, to get suggestions, and to learn from. This course is all about building a strong network of career advisors who will support your professional development needs. By the end of this course, you will feel comfortable initiating career conversations with professionals in the field of your interests. And you will also be leveraging LinkedIn to expand your network. Ready My Career Search. Finding an internship or job is more than just sending out resumes. This course will help you understand the process of internship and job search, and for you to start putting together your job search strategy. By the end of this course, you will have the first versions of your resume and cover letter. You will understand what employers look for in an interview room. You will learn to include LinkedIn as part of your internship or job search strategy. All these 3 real courses are completely online. There is no requirement to meet in person. They are offered every term, so you don't need to worry that if you miss the course for the fall, you will have to wait for another year. They are 1-credit courses. That means students spend about 3 hours per week to review the materials on Canvas and to do the homework. Most weekly assignments are due on Sundays. If students have questions about the assignments or the course materials, they can email me directly, or they can come to my Zoom office hours on Wednesdays. This is really not a strict rule that you should take one course before the other, but I highly recommend that you consider starting with Know My Career Self. Remember, I just mentioned that knowing yourself well is the cornerstone of your career development. Once you have a good understanding of who you are, what you want to do, what your career interests are, what your career values are, they are going to set a solid foundation for the rest of your career development. I hope that you will consider these courses and look forward to seeing you in my classroom.
Kane, could you give us just a couple-minute broad level overview for the large group before we split into small groups about Beyond Education Abroad?
Happy to, thank you. I don't have a fancy video, but I am joining you all from the city of Tübingen, Germany. Definitely not my bedroom in Salem, Oregon. Again, I'm Kane Francis. I'm the Director of Global Opportunities for OSU, so we administer internships abroad and study abroad programs. The Beyond Education Abroad program was designed because going abroad in the first place is really, really experiential. It's really exciting, it's really in-depth, it's really intense. A lot of students who go abroad come back with a newfound sense of confidence in their academic goals or their career pursuits. And it's really common to come back and say, that was one of the most amazing things that I did during my time at OSU, and I want to do more with it somehow. I don't know what that means in terms of grad school or careers to pursue, but I want to fold that in some way. So one of the things that we will do in the Beyond Education Abroad course is really unpack what you learned and how you grew personally from your time abroad, like being able to name the skills that you gained and the experiences that you had. Gain a little bit more insight on your own culture and how you yourself view the world as it pertains to what you'd like to do with your time during your time at OSU or after graduation. Also work together to find ways to highlight your successes in navigating the challenges of study abroad, because while there's a lot of fun and excitement around travel and seeing new parts of the world, there's also the daily experiences of navigating things in different languages or learning new coin systems for the first time when you're in line to pay. Some of those daily experiences really build a lot of character, and we'll translate those into actual tangible skills. And most importantly, we'll learn how to translate some of those successes and skills that you have gained through going on a study abroad program or international internship to what you'd like to do after graduation, whether that's applications to graduate school, applications to jobs. Work on really translating, again, all of those skills and experiences into something tangible that you can be proud of. So at the end of the day, in addition to coming back from your international experience, you're able to say, that was so amazing and I loved it, and here are all the ways in which that time abroad makes me a competitive applicant in my career or academic pursuits. So we'll talk a little bit more about the fun ways we'll dive into that in my breakout session. I also want to name that this might be a somewhat interesting time to be focusing on international travel and activities. So I'm happy in my breakout to also just talk generally about study abroad and how that works.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kane. Slade, are you turning on your video? I'm going to ask you to go next. Do you want to give us a little bit more information, the elevator pitch, if you will, for why a student might want to do industry awareness?
Yeah. So as you've been listening, all of my friends out there, you've probably heard a few different things that we're here and we're focused on helping you to develop the ability to articulate your skills so that as you are growing and learning and experiencing here at Oregon State University, whether you get a job or you don't, or you go do an internship, which you will, because if you're in kinesiology and public health, you have to do those things, that you will be able to paint that personal picture of who you are. So how does industry awareness play into that? So I really identify with the cultural experience of the Aboriginal people of Australia in the sense of their walkabout. And what I've been telling students recently as we talk about industry awareness is that this is our walkabout, where you are given the opportunity to go and explore. You're going to ask questions, you're going to get curious, you're going to do a deep dive into the media, the articles, the literature, all of that makes up the industry or the field of study that you are interested in. And we'll do that together. I'll walk with you a little bit, but you can think of me more of just kind of your guide. It is very centered on you in your ability, again, to develop the skill to go ask questions and to find the answers. So I'm here to help. And we'll talk a little bit about it more as we go through in the breakout, answer any questions that you have and give you a sense of, okay, what does this virtual walkabout look like as we do it this fall?
Great, thanks, Slade. So as I mentioned, I run 2 program options for Real, and I'll give you guys all a little bit of an overview before we break out as well. So one of the programs I run is the Catalyst Mentoring Program, and that is a year-long program. And I say that right off the bat because some people get excited about that, and some people think I don't want to spend a whole year on something like this, but I'll tell you why it's good. What we do is 1 credit per term. It starts in the fall. Every fall, you can't start outside of fall. So every fall, we bring in a new cohort that spends a whole academic year focusing on professional development, career exploration, leadership development. It's many of the similar things that Claire spoke about, condensed into a different type of program. And in that, in the first week of class, you get to select a mentor, somebody that's gonna do that exploring and growth and development with you. Now, our mentors are not students at OSU. They're, with very few exceptions, not faculty members at OSU, but they are people who are out doing the jobs and working in the career fields that you hope to do one day. And so you will select a mentor based on whether you want to work in a public health field or a kinesiology field or with children or doing research. And these are people that have been working in that field. You have 1 meeting with them per month for the entire academic year, where you talk to them about what you're learning in class. You learn from them about what their career is like, what they love, what they hate, what the struggles are, what they recommend to be successful. And over that time, the reason why we do that is that when you have a mentoring relationship for at least 6 months, it becomes a lot richer. So it becomes more than just an informational interview or informational gathering. What you end up with is a mentoring relationship that's really based on trust and being open and doing some challenging work with each other. And that becomes like one of the first people that's going to be in your corner outside of OSU when you get done. So I'll be talking a little bit more about the mentoring program and some examples of the really, really cool mentors I have, like the VP of Operations at Samaritan Health, or the Deputy Director at Portland Public Health, or an athletic trainer with the Seahawks. It's my little plug. And then the other program I offer is Excel in Action. And that is what we call a service learning experience. So it's, again, all housed under this umbrella of professional development. So we're still talking about what skills do I need to be successful? What are the soft skills that I need? Teamwork, communication, all of those things. How do I talk to other people about my skills? But one of the interesting things with this option is we actually teach you a hard skill as well, which is Excel. So we teach you how to use Excel in a professional format. And then we pair you up with a community agency in public health or nonprofit that needs a project done. And so over the course of 10 weeks, you're learning professional soft skills, you're learning a technical skill via Excel, and then you're actually putting that into practice by scheduling meetings and learning about this project and completing a project to present back to an organization that's in this field. And that's going to be data analysis projects and functional budgets and things that are really practical that keep the back end of these organizations running. So that is also about skill development. It's also about a pretty concrete professional experience that you can then talk about later on, again, before you get to the internship phase. So relationship development over the course of 1 year, and then professional experience in the bulk of 10 weeks. So those are my 2 programs. We covered a lot of information in the breakouts, and so I want to just open this up this last few minutes. If any students have questions for just generally about the real requirement, if you have a question about a program for a breakout session that you did not attend, raise your hand or type in a chat, or just unmute yourself is fine. I'd love to make sure that we get questions answered and get everybody pointed in the right direction before we log off for today. No, it's the afternoon. Let's see.
We also chatted to everyone, the link for the REAL program. So if you want to use that link, that was the website that Amy was showing earlier.
Thank you, Chad, for sharing that. One thing that I will say is, and I mentioned in my breakout session that my 2 options, Catalyst and Excel, you can't just register. There's a step that you would need to take ahead of time. So for Catalyst, there's an online application, and for Excel, I require a one-on-one meeting. Different programs are going to have different requirements like that. And so it's a good idea, again, to review that website and take a closer look at what the requirements are. So if you know that you want to do industry awareness, but not until spring, double check that early. Obviously, if you want to do beyond education abroad, you're going to need to have an education abroad experience first. So that takes some advanced planning. But once you start to narrow down your interest areas, definitely see what those different requirements are in case they do require some advanced planning. For any of our students on the call who are coming in as brand new freshmen, what I'd also like to say is don't feel like you have to do this in your very first term. There's a lot of transition that takes place when you start at OSU. We definitely want you to do this early, but it's also okay to get your feet underneath you and get comfortable with learning at OSU, so that when you get into this experience, you feel really ready for it versus just feeling like you have to get 3 credits done right away. Somebody asked for email addresses, so I'm going to share mine real quick here. And you can look up any of us on the OSU website. So if you just type in our name, either on the general website or on the College of Public Health website, you'll come to a contact page for each of us and can send a message from there directly if you'd like to. Anything else? Any last questions before we wrap up today? Okay.
I just have a shameless plug, Amy, before everybody goes. In addition to the REAL program, we have some other class opportunities for our new incoming students this fall. If you're a first-year student, check out HHS 199. Slade was an instructor in past terms. He can share more about his experience and the class. Just a way to develop community, get to know other College of Public Health and Human Sciences students, and also kind of navigate what it's like to be a first year in this crazy time. We have the exact same class, but for transfer students specifically, that one is HHS 399. So check those out. Y'all are welcome to email me too if you have questions, but there's seats open in all 3 sections for that.
Thanks, Gina. In case I didn't mention this, Gina is one of our academic advisors in the Office of Student Success. She can also be found on the college website through the directory, and there's an advising page specifically. So definitely reach out to your academic advisors if you have questions in general about classes or registration or any of that. But those are great suggestions, especially for those coming into the first term. So, okay, well, thank you so much to the students. We can't wait to see you online this fall. It's gonna look a little bit different, but we're all doing our best to make sure it's a great experience for you. And either with this group or other contacts on campus, please, please, please just stay in contact with folks, reach out when you have questions or concerns. It's gonna be the best way to make the most of this kind of virtual fall term. So thanks everybody for coming in.
Yeah, thank you everyone.